Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tata Fox and this is the Tata Fox Express Train journey. So guys, I thought I would do a little get ready with me, but it was gonna take too long. It was gonna take too long for me to do my makeup and do my full makeup and have the story time, because the story time is actually not that long. So I thought, let me do my eyes and then I'll do my face and the foundation, everything on camera with y'all. Okay, so let's get into it.
Girl, I see your face everywhere. When I'm going out, you'll be there. 'Cause everything reminds me of you. I can't take no more. Girl, I think I'm losing my mind. Try to go to work, but I lost track of time. 'Cause everyone keep looking like you. I can't take no more. I miss your touch from your hands and your body. It hurts so much to think of you as someone else. Can't get enough when you're sweet.
Okay guys, so I want to do a story time. I'm going to be using some of the makeup from the makeup haul that I did the other day with you guys. First time using this makeup, so let's get into it. Anyway, so I promised you guys a story time, so let's do a bit of a story time. So the story time's about, like, I'm already laughing. I don't know why I'm already laughing. Let me crack open my drink. You know what it is? I got this hibiscus sparkling mead. It's like a cider. It smells good. I think I just like alcohol. I just like betrayal. That's actually quite good. So the first thing I'm going to be using is a concealer from a company called Milk. So I'm going to take a little bit and just pour it onto my head. So this is like from like when I was still really young. And I was just, so my mom was really strict, and she didn't just let us like go out. If I went out, I would have to be back by 12 o'clock. That was when I was 18. So if I'm gonna be out with my friends, I'm allowed to go out, I'm allowed to, you know, have a drink or two, but I must be back in the house by 12 o'clock. And you know that at that time, 12 o'clock is when like the club is popping. It's just happening. It's going down at 12. It's just picking up. If you get there before 12, it's dead. And I would have to get there at like 10. And my mom was thinking like, that's late. Like if we were starting to get ready at like 9, she'd be like, you're only gonna get ready at 9? Y'all need to get ready at like 7. She wanted us to get ready at like 7, and that was too early. So then we'd go to the club, have a couple drinks, get our seats or our tables or whatever, or like meet some friends and stuff. And then 12 o'clock we would leave Uber back. Not Uber was not lying. It was not around. I'm lying. I wouldn't Uber. We would get like my mom or someone would come and pick us up and then take us back home. Because back then there was no Uber. You still have to ask your parents to pick you up and like drop you off at places. And at that time they ain't waking up at 12 o'clock or at 1 o'clock to come and fetch you. So you have to make sure that it's at a time that they are comfortable with, because if you think that you're going to be picked up at 2 o'clock in the morning, my mama ain't going to wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning to fetch me. That is totally it's my problem. So I need to make sure that at 12 o'clock she comes to fetches me. I'm in the car. We're heading back home. Cool. So I'm going to be using my Too Faced foundation. I'm in the color Mocha. I thought it was a color chestnut. Little did I know. So my mom would fetch us, or her mom would fetch us, and then we'd go home. We would get back into our pajamas. We wouldn't take our makeup off, have something to eat, say goodnight, and go to bed. So now, if we're at my friend's house, her house was built in such a nice way that the parents were in the other room, like on the other side. So we could actually just walk out. So we would sneak back out, basically. But then we could just walk out and walk. We just had to walk past the passage, but their room was all the way at the end of the passage. But if you're really quiet, they wouldn't hear you. And then they had a very long driveway, so we would run to the bottom of the driveway to get to the gates, and then our boyfriends at the time or friends would be there to come or people who want to be our boyfriends, people who wants to be the boyfriend, would be waiting at the bottom of the gate, right? I don't want to use a lot of makeup today. Sneaking out at her house was like really easy because you know that you're not really going to get caught unless you're walking past the passage and you bump into one of her parents on the passage. And that was not likely because it's like midnight. What would they be doing? And we would listen out to hear when they go to bed and stuff. Oh, and another bonus thing about her house is if we couldn't use the main gate because her dad was not around, and we were worried that if we were sneaking out and then her dad would pitch, we would then use the side gate. They've got a small side gate further down the property, just down the wall, and we would sneak out of there. Sneaking out of her house was seamless. Her parents were like chilled, like they wouldn't even know. They wouldn't come and check us in the morning. Are we back? Like, we would sneak back in when the sun was out. Sometimes the parents would be awake, but they haven't checked to see if we're in the room. So we would literally be out, partying, come back at 6 o'clock in the morning, 7 o'clock in the morning, and just go back into the room, put on our pajamas, and pretend like we had been in the house, and then sleep the whole day. And nobody questioned us. Not at my mother's household. Not like that. At my mama's house, we were living large. A house, my bedroom is literally next door to my parents' room. So my window is here and my parents' window, a sliding door is here. So I don't have a door, it's a window. So if I wanted to sneak out, I'd have to climb out of my window, walk past their sliding door. They're sleeping right in here to get to the garden. Okay, and we used to set our alarm, so I couldn't go out the main door. Whereas at my friend's house, I never set the alarm, so we would actually just walk out the main door. We'd walk out the main door, walk back through the main door. It's not a problem. My mama's house was like that, yo. I had to leave through the window. Now, the only nice thing about my parents' house is that when you sneak out the window, you run across the garden. Then we've got these huge trees, and I call them Christmas trees. I don't think they're Christmas trees. I don't know what they're called, but they look like Christmas trees. They look like really big Christmas trees. So we've got like a row of them. So I would run behind the Christmas trees and like sneak behind the Christmas trees until I got to the wall, because we can't use a gate because the gate needed to be oiled up. And also, we had a dog who was weird as hell. And she would bark at me if I went out the gate, like barking like bye. The dog would say bye-bye. So when I would walk out the gate, this fool would bark. And then my parents would be like, why is the dog barking? So, and also you're paranoid when you're sneaking out. So I would not want to use the main gate. I would want to sneak out and jump the wall. When I sneak out, I need to plan that too. You can't just be sneaking out, okay? I would go into our parents' room before it's bedtime for everybody, and I would undo the electric fence, okay? I would undo the electric fence. Now the electric fence, luckily for us, it didn't show if it wasn't armed. It just was green if it was okay and on, but if it was armed, it wouldn't show like armed. So I would go in and I would disarm the electric fence, and then I would go to bed. And then when it's time for me to go and jump, I know the electric fence is off. And to make double sure that the electric fence is off, I would listen out to hear the sound by the gate to hear if it's connecting. You see, if there was a sound, I knew that I cannot jump because somebody realized that the electric fence is not on, and they switched it back on, or they've armed it. And there I am out the window. You can't do your guys out the window. You've got to hold your shoes, okay? I am in makeups. I've got my freaking dress on, so I always wear pajamas over my freaking dress, just in case I get caught. I don't know what I was gonna say if I get caught. Okay, because it's the middle of the night. Why am I in the garden with a full face of makeup with my pajamas on? It still don't make no sense. But it is what it is. I'm using the NARS concealer. I feel like it's like high-key orange, so I might need to adjust that a little bit. I would run to the wall, listen to the thing. Then we had a really nice tree that like branches by the corner of the garden, and I would use it as a ladder and I would jump over the wall. Right? I'm out. You need to, so my friend would never actually come to my house if we needed to sneak out, because it was just a mission for both of us to have to do this. So she would either sneak out at her house, and then her and her friends, or our friends, they were all the same. It was mainly her friends. It was mainly her friends, okay? They would come and fetch me. Now we've got a main gate. Did we have a main gate back then? I don't think we had a main gate back then. So before the main gate, I would just tell like the people who are fetching me, like, you wait at the bottom of the road. Don't come all the way up, because my dog will bark when it sees you. I do double up my concealer under my eyes. Plus, this feels like it's the wrong color, so I'm just adding a little bit of this concealer on top, and this is the one I'm going to use on my nose. Okay. So I would sneak out, jump the wall, run down the road, and I would then get into the person's car. We would drive up, we would go to party. Taboo was the place we would go all the time. It's tea time, go Taboo is going down. We would go to Taboo, we would party. It's nice, Monday. Then it's time to come back. Now, because I'm at my parents' house, I can't, I'm waiting for my concealer to set, so that's why I'm not doing anything at the moment. I can't just come back at any time, because I know that my parents will come and check on me, and if they find out that I'm not in my room, it's going to go down, okay? So I need to be back at the house by 5 o'clock, okay? 5 o'clock, because at 6 o'clock, my mom and my dad go for a jog. Till today, my parents still jog at 6 o'clock in the morning, till this very day. If you want to sneak out of the house, make sure your ass is back at 6 o'clock in the morning. At 4 o'clock, I'll be like, guys, I need to head back, especially if you're going far. Sometimes we'd go like to Pretoria, which I wouldn't do again. I'm using the Morphe Luminous Setting Spray. I'm just wetting my sponge, wetting my face again. 5 o'clock, I need to be back in the house. We get back. Now, when we get back, it's another story, because there's no trees that are branched into the wall. And obviously, for obvious reasons, there wouldn't be a tree that branches into the wall, because my parents would be, for safety reasons, you don't want your trees to lean into the yard, especially if they've got big branches, because then someone can just bypass the electric fence by climbing over the tree. So we would have to cut down our trees, so the trees were a little bit away from the barrier. So what my friends have to do is they have to boost me. So even if I was with a guy, even if I was with a guy, he couldn't just drop me off the gate. He would have to get out of his car and boost my ass over the wall again. And that was probably why none of them actually took me seriously, because they were like, this girl's she's a kid. I mean, I'm helping her jump back into her parents' house. At that time, they got their own houses. Wild. Anyway, the prospective boyfriend at that time would have to boost me back over the wall so that I can get back into the yard. And then I have to make sure that the dog sees me, because we had a vicious dog. I can't just walk, because that dog was tripping. If that dog sees you, if that dog sees somebody in the yard, it's going to bite. It doesn't ask questions. It bites and asks questions later. So I need to make sure the dog knows, like, he's me. Whoa, Bobby, don't stop. I would be boosted over the wall. Then I would call its name, but I wouldn't be like, I wouldn't be like, Zina. I would say, I'll jump the wall and go, Zina, Zina, Zina. And then she would, like, the dog would be like, the dog would be like, who's that? And I would be like, Zina. And then the dog would like come and be like, oh, Zeus, good, come in, come home, dog. Then I would like run behind the trees and I'd pull my window open and climb through, right? So that's how I used to sneak out the house. Now I've got it down to a T. I am an expert. I am an expert at sneaking out the house now. I've done it so many times. It's it ain't a big deal. It's not an issue. I've been sneaking out. It's like, it's my daily bread, sneaking out. Everybody knows the drill. Don't come, you drop me off at the bottom. Kore, I've got a system. Sorry, I just don't like how orange it is. Okay. Then one day, New Year's Eve. Hey! Imagine, it can be date. Tomorrow's the 31. And you know how Joburg is. It's like it's popping. It's like it's parties, taboo, left, right, and center. Everybody is having a thing. So I'm like ready to go out. And like, I've been going out a couple times. And I don't want to ask my mom to go out again for like the 5th night in a row, you know. I already had made a plan and she already agreed that I can go out on New Year's. Because usually, New Year's is like family time. For us, was just New Year's Eve was family time, so it was gonna be one of those times where I was eventually allowed out to go out partying without them. Hey, and I was gonna be allowed out past 12 o'clock because you know it's New Year's Eve party. Okay, but I now want to go to this party on New Year's, 2 days before New Year's Eve. Okay, it 30 is. I'm like to my friends, guys, you know the drill. You're gonna have to come in. Like, I'm gonna have to sneak out. At some point in all of this, I tell my sister, because then I realize that, oh no, a friend of mine gets into a car accident, and I realize that it's just really risky. Like, I'm staying at the house, nobody knows where I am, and what if something happens to me on the road? So I realized that, you know what, the best thing to do is to tell my sister where I'm going and what's happening, and like, just so that I have somebody who knows where I am. Phyllis has no sfuba. Basically, my sister just cannot keep a bloody secret. Let me tell you why. Got it 30. I go to my sister and say, hey, my sister, I'm going out to party at someone's house and I want to go and they're going to come fetch me. Guy 11. And I think it was early. It was earlier than usual because I remember thinking, I'm gonna have to say goodnight to my mom really early and shove some pillows in my pillowcase, and, you know, in the bed and pretend like I'm going to bed. You know, I'm gonna have to do all of that. So I say goodnight. My sister says, okay, sharp. I say goodnight to my mom. I might say, I go check if the electric fence is off. It's off. Okay, sharp. I get dressed. My mom is acting weird. Like, she's usually asleep at this time, but this chick is like on her laptop. I don't know what she's doing. Remember now, this is over 10 years ago. This is like 14 years ago. So, but she had a laptop, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna have to say goodnight. And I'm gonna have just to go to bed. And it's not the first time. It's not the first time where I've snuck out and they were awake. Like, there's been one or two incidents where I said goodnight and I've gotten away with them not knowing that I'm not in bed, you know. Maybe they check, I don't know, but they see like something in the bed, they don't say anything. Okay, I say goodnight, she's not sleeping. Guys, me, I'm going. Like, my people are waiting for me down the road. They've called me. I am at the bottom of the road. I sneak out the house now. I'm out the window. Ne? I'm here. I'm out the window. My dad's in bed already. And my sister's bedroom light is on because she's awake still. I run across the garden, behind the trees. I'm running, quite in my hand. My friends are waiting for me at the bottom of the road. I'm seeing the promised land. I'm by the wall. Ne? Something inside me said, just turn around and look where you come from. Yo, I did this. And I stuck like that, okay? I was like this, okay? Because I saw my bedroom light go, gish. It just went on. It was high. And you know when you're in denial, because I was like, who be that? Who that? Who's that? Who did that? In my room. And I thought, and the next thing I see, now I'm standing by the wall about to jump and I can't because someone's just on the light in my bedroom. Hakere. Next thing I see a hand reach to the window and close the window and lock it. And I am What do I do? What now, Harpo? What do we do now? I'm in a panic. Someone's in my room and I saw a hand reach over and close the window. Now, only one person could do that. I know my sister ain't stupid enough to sabotage me like that. It's gotta be my mom. My mom, and that hand was too dark to be my sister. So it's definitely my mom. My mom has found me. She found out that I am not in my room no more. I am panicking. I drop my heels, because remember I still got my pajamas on the top. I drop my heels and I run around the back of the house. Now we had an OC who used to stay in, like, our house is connected, so her rooms are connected to the house, but she has a door leading out of the house from her room. So I run to her room and I knock on the door and I'm like feverishly knocking. And I'm like, OC, but I don't want to make too much noise. I don't want to make too much noise because I don't want the people in the house to hear that she is, that I'm outside. So I'm like, OC. And she is, Damon! Hey! Good morning, Mom. Because she doesn't know that I'm not in the house. So all in her mind is that she's in bed and all she hears is somebody talking to her through the door on the outside. And I'm like, OC, get out the door. Please open. Dude, and now I'm in tears because she don't want to open. She's like, who is it? Because in her mind, I'm in the house. Why would I be anywhere else? Why would I not be in the house? I should be in the house. As far as she's concerned, I'm in the house. Why would a tato be calling her out the door? Why would tato be calling her outside? Dude, eventually I was like, please, it's me, OC, it's me. Eventually she opens. And then I open her bedroom door. So now she's got a door that goes into the house and a door that goes out of the house. So then I open her door and I go through her passage. I go through, because she's got a long passage. I start walking through the passage and I turn up I turn up the passage to my passage, to leads to my room, and there's nobody there. And I'm like, maybe my mom, I'm just gonna tell my mom that I was sitting in Oshi's room the whole time and I didn't sneak out, and I don't know what she saw or what she heard, but I've been in the house the whole time. I've been just sitting in Oshi's room. Girl, the lies I tell, so quick. When I get into and I'm like, yo, I've made it. Let me get into my room. When I get into my room, hey, I find the mother on the bed. She's waiting. She's welcome. Take a seat. I got so grounded. Like, that line did not work because she saw me. She said she saw me. She said she saw me. She's like, I know. I saw you run across the garden. The curtain wasn't closed properly, and I saw you and taking me for a fool. And she grounded me. Basically, I was grounded. I couldn't go to the party. The New Year's Eve party, I was stuck with my parents, and I knew that my mom was gonna take my phone. When I saw her close the window, when I stood outside by the gate, I actually called them and said, I've been busted. And I hung up and I ran to the door. I ran to my husband's door. Okay. So I got grounded. I couldn't go out that Christmas, that New Year's Eve. I had to spend it with my family. And I watched TV and I went to bed early, and my friends were out at Taboo with the tickets that they got early, and they had the time of their lives, and I was at home because I got busted. Okay. And imagine how embarrassing it is for like my friend who's with like guys, and like to be like, guys, we gotta go, she's been busted, like just forget about Tato. And they must be thinking, these kids, like, really? I'm gonna be using the Morphe blush. Fast forward this story to 2 years ago. One day I'm sitting with my sister and we're reminiscing, and I'm telling her about the time that I got busted, and I'm like, I can't believe I got busted, and what was she doing when I got busted, and we like going back, having a whole conversation about what happened, and it's all jokes and stuff. Did my sister not pipe out all of a sudden, after years of silence, that the reason why my mom knew that I had snuck out of the house is because she told her? She went to her, when I climbed out the window, she went to mom and said to my mom, Tato's gone out the house, then she is running across the garden, and my mom saw, and that's how I got caught. She is a snitch. basically. So all along, for the past 14 years or 10 years, I thought she was an innocent bystander, and that she I was just telling her for my own safety. When this trick went to my mom and told her that I was sneaking out, and that's why I got caught, and she was keeping it a secret for the past 10 years. Yeah, the Judas, they live with you. That's the story time how I got busted, sneaking out. My advice to you, if you're gonna sneak out, don't tell nobody. No, tell somebody, guys. Sneaking out is so stupid, because what happens if I got into a car accident and died and nobody knew? Like, what was gonna happen? What was I gonna say to my parents? Hairpin to me. What was I gonna say? There's nothing I could have said to explain myself, because I'd be dead, number one. Number two, it would be a shitty way to die, not knowing that, my parents not knowing I am, and a shitty way to wake up with a phone call telling you that your kid is on the road when you think they're in bed. That's crap. Let's put this powder on. So this is the MAC powder that I'm using. I got this a while ago. I actually put the powder over the highlighter, and the reason why I do that is because I'm a bit over highlighter. I think like we're going over the top with highlighter, so I just put a little bit over my highlighter. But for the cheeks, I put it over because I like that it's subtle. Then I'm just gonna take the Huda Beauty setting spray, and I'm going to set the face, child. This smells like perfume. I don't like that. And it stings. Alright. So you guys are bomb to come. Let me do my hair and I'll get back to you. Here's a bear there. Alright, guys. So this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed the story time, and I hope you guys enjoyed listening to me go on about my shady, crazy childhood. I'm gonna do a video that explains where I've been for a couple weeks. I didn't want to do a where have I been video because those drive me crazy. Like, trick. Just say you're tired and let's get on with it. But I am gonna explain where I was because I think I've been gone for a long time. But as you can tell, things are changing, quality is improving, my space is growing, and I'm glad to be back. And I'm hoping that you guys are enjoying the quality of the content that I'm giving you guys, because I've gone all out to try and make sure that you guys get the best from the Foxnation, the Fox Express train. You guys are the bum to come, and I'm out. Yo, I'm outie like a TT. One last thing. Make sure to subscribe, like, follow. I'm on Instagram, I'm on Twitter, I'm on all them great platforms. Please make sure that you do best, and holler at your girl. Subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you to the 60,000 that have subscribed. Here's road to 100K. 100,000.